The Baal Shem Tov told the story of the Yid who spent an entire day in the marketplace, hustling and bustling on his business. The whole day passes by in a jiffy. Suddenly he sees the sun is about to set. Time for Mincha. He gives a krechts. Oi! A whole day passed and I have not thought about the Eibishter even for one moment. He runs into an alleyway. He finds a quiet spot. He davens Shemon Esrei with his mind wandering. Not one drop of kavanah. Said the Baal Shem Tov, he is so beloved and precious in the eyes of Hashem because he made one krechts. The krechts that he made is boikei arekim. It breaks through the heavens. The feeling of disappointment in himself, that feeling itself is beloved to Hashem because that shows the ratzon that he had to really do good. The krechts itself has so much value. The Yismach Yisrael in Parshas Ekev brings the story from the Helika Arizal that Reb Chaim Vital asked him a penetrating question. The Yerushalmi tells us about the Mishnah in Shabbos that says, we all know an animal, a para, cannot go out on Shabbos in the public domain with a ritzua, with a strap hanging from its horn. And it says that Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah's para did go out like that. Shaloi b'tzayin chachamim, the chachamim were not happy with him. And the Yerushalmi says that he did tshuva on that. The tshuva that he did was he fasted and fasted until his teeth turned black. How many Tanesim that is, I have no idea. Hundreds, perhaps thousands. But then the Yerushalmi tells us another thing, that it wasn't his para, it was his neighbor's. But since he did not protest, it's considered as if he did it. So Reb Chaim Vital looked at his Rebbe and he said, if that's the tshuva he has to do for such a seemingly small aveir, what's going to be with me that I'm full from head to toe with aveiros? And if I may add, 500 years later, the question is glaring. What about us? How could we possibly do tshuva? And the Arizal answered him, my Talmud, that was then. But today, one krechts me'oimek halev is worth more than all those tanesim. That's the value of a krechts. No positive intention is insignificant. Nothing. Any feeling that I have, a positive feeling, a step forward, has a value. And even if I fell, the avodah on us is not to say, I've tried so much, so many times, it's so difficult, I give up. If the krechts brings feelings of disappointment and yiyush, then the nisayon is always to chas v'shalom, not to look at it that way and say, the very fact that I gave a krechts, that itself is so beloved by Hashem, and that's going to serve as an impetus for me to grow, because it shows, it revealed the ratzon of how good I'd like to be. The Bali Musar lately, the late 50, 60, 70 years have said that an aveira is terrible, but the main problem with an aveira is not so much the aveira, it's how we deal with it afterward. The task, especially today, when we're so small and our minds and our hearts are so poisoned, the main idea, the main tachlis, is how to deal with the aveira afterward. After we reach a point that we've done something wrong, we have to say, oi! And the krechts that we say is something that we should realize it's so precious to Hashem. Now that's going to be used as a vehicle to grow. We must not only appreciate our obvious successes, we have to treasure our disappointments. This is the true victory. Let us learn how to value and appreciate a krechts.